I'm wearing my robe because although I was mowing the lawn in my t-shirt just a couple of short days ago, tonight the temperature is about 33 degrees. It's cold enough to see your breath outside, and I guess that's just what you deal with when you live in western Kentucky. There are enough other things that make up for it that I don't complain about it. And it's hard to complain anyways when you have such a luxurious garment to cover yourself with. Now, I've been looking forward to making this video for a while. How do I start this? I've been smoking some blends that are not satisfactory. They're not really doing the trick. A handful of dessert smokes, really sweet stuff. Handful of Balkans that all kind of taste like the same blend. And I'm just starting to move into some Virginias. And I'm having a hard time finding something that satisfies me and just kind of blows my socks off like the Balkan 2 did the first time I smoked it. And really the thing is that I need to venture out a little bit. But I'm also having a hard time dialing in on certain flavors, figuring out what a tobacco tastes like by trying to pick it out of a blend, right? And so what I'm doing is I'm going to get tobaccos that are just isolated, just a straight Virginia, straight Latakia, straight Perique, that kind of thing, straight Burley. I want to try some blends that are reputable, that are loved by a lot of people, that a lot of people like, that'll give me an idea of how to identify each of those different tobaccos so that I can figure out better what I'm getting into when I buy a blend that has several of them in one pot, so to speak. I've ordered a couple of Virginias, and they just came in the mail today. But before I do those, I'm going to do a Burley. And this one should be a good one. I expect it to be a good one. It has rave reviews. I believe there is some kind of flavoring added to it, but I don't think it's a lot. Anyhow, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my next guest needs no introduction. He has been loved the world over for over a century at least. Apparently a warm and fuzzy fellow who will be your best friend for a very long time. I give to you the one, the only, Prince Albert. He's not in a can. In this case, he's in a tub. It would appear to be a plastic tub. So I guess rather than letting him out, maybe we should throw some water on him. Here he is in all his glory. I'm really looking forward to trying this one. Now, I saw a video from the Dread Tiger where he was talking about vintage Prince Albert. I think he said that the process, they changed the process at some point in how they made it. And I think he said that the original process, let me set this guy right up here while I'm talking about you. It's rude to talk about you if you can't at least be seen, I think he said that the original process included freezing the tobacco at some point, and they don't do that anymore. And he was saying that the old stuff was really nice. That he said that the new stuff, nothing against you, buddy, nothing against you. He said the new stuff was very, very nice as well, but I'm pretty sure he said the old stuff was a little bit better. But what I did is I bought online a vintage tin unopened from, through various websites, I've been able to date it at around 1960 to 63. And I'm going to try that eventually because I'm curious if there is a difference between the old stuff and the new stuff. But before I try it, I need to at least familiarize myself with what this guy tastes like so that I have some kind of point of reference, right? Yeah. So I wanted a Burley that was as close to a classic straight Burley as I could get. Nothing came better recommended. I'm excited to try this. Been really wanting to try it. Getting pretty burnt out on the stuff that I have been smoking. Just no joy in it, you know? So, without further ado, let's crack open the prints and see what we got here. This is going to be like a puzzle. Does it just pop off? I guess it just pops off. It's just going to pop off. Okay. Okay. First smell, it's like I would say just a straight tobacco. I'm not picking up anything. Look at that. It's packed in there, man. He's packed in there. I don't want to spill this. That's a lot of tobacco. That's a whole lot of tobacco. I couldn't find the 1.5 ounce pouches anywhere. Okay. First thought is familiarity. Rolling tobaccos, like you would use for rolling your own cigarettes, but a really sweet kind, not so dry, not so... There are some that taste like chemical additives have really been poured into them, you know? Like Bugler can be like that. This is like tobacco minus that. This does smell like just a natural tobacco. Like there's not a lot added to do this. There's not a whole lot going on. It's a fresh, clean smell, like freshly picked tobacco. Oh wow, it's soft. I haven't seen this much tobacco in one quantity except for in one place except for the jars at the tobacco shop. But even they aren't this full. It smells really just natural is the first word that comes to mind. I'm smelling the earth. I'm smelling... It's, you know, if you're in the woods and it rained for the past couple days and this is the first day without rain and you're laying down in the dirt, it's kind of damp, not mud, but damp, wet kind of grass and deep brown dirt, and you're laying down, fall maybe. Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's leaves that have fallen off the tree, and they're laying around. You're in a pile of wet leaves during the fall. That's exactly what this smells like. Like you're a kid in a pile of leaves, and they're damp. It's exactly what this smells like, but it's got like a little bit of a sweetness I'm picking up from it. It's cool and moist, but dry. It's, very soft. I hope I love this tobacco because I've got a ton of it now. I do kind of pick up like a brown sugar maybe. I heard it has molasses in it, or a molasses taste to it. And I'm kind of smelling that. Okay, enough talk. Let's light it up and see what we got. Yeah, it's molasses and fall leaves. Like you're in a pile of wet leaves. The texture, the moisture level and texture is fantastic. This is very fluffy. It's cool in the hand. It's not so moist that it feels damp. It's moist enough to feel cool in the hand, but dry also. So I'm going to pack a little bit in here. Let's see what we get. really hope that I love this, or at least like it a lot. You know, I hope that I don't want yet another pile of tobacco sitting in a jar that I don't want to smoke. You know, I'm it's trying to pop up on me here. Hold on. I'm smoking it in Sam to keep things consistent, because this is the pipe that I know this is the pipe that I could put it in Samuel, but I'm still new to Samuel. I'm still trying to get the hang of him and figure out what he's all about. This pipe, I feel like I know it in and out by now. Okay. It's lighting easy, but it's not charring easy. It's not spreading out easy. But it is lighting up easily. I'm going to set that aside for a moment and put the lid back on the Prince. Go back in your tub, buddy. Go back in your tub. So it was a good day today. Busy one. Work is getting very busy, but it's easy work and it's relaxing, and I'm thankful. Don't have a lot of time left over at the end of the day to do this kind of thing for the past couple weeks, so I've been wanting to get to this, and it's better late than never, I guess. Prince Albert. That light's a little better. Very smoky, huh? A big plume of smoke. Effortless. Okay. Smooth. This is, I mean, just the top of the bowl here. This is first light. Very smooth. Very smooth. I can exhale that through my nose. No irritation at all. Unbelievably smooth. The taste reminds me of a medium-bodied cigar, but no harshness whatsoever. And when I puff on it lightly, there's something else in there trying to come in. A very, very, very vague hint of sweetness that you can smell, that I'm only picking up in a really small quantity. This is interesting. Okay, if I roll it around the bend, blow it out my nose, this is the base tobacco that's been used for the dessert smokes I've been smoking. The ones that I bought from the local shop, there are a handful that I like a lot. They're very, very sweet though. My Windy Walk tobaccos. they all have the same base layer, and then it's as if each had a different flavor added on top. One is kind of a hazelnut, one is kind of a cherry cordial. But I could recognize that they all had that same foundation. This is clearly it. Burley is it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they are smooth smokes. This is what I've been smoking in those desserts. This is like one of the dessert smokes without any of the additives, without any of the. This is just the base layer. I can't get over how smooth this is. Man, if that sweetness kicks in halfway through the bowl, this is going to be a good, just low level, nothing crazy, just sit and relax and enjoy. Not a lot to think about. Right now, I'm thinking if this were if the flavor doesn't develop anymore, this would be something that I could smoke all the time, but probably more as like a palate cleanser or like to take a break from. There's not a lot of flavor here. I'm not picking up a lot of flavor. Just that base tobacco, which is Burley, I guess now I know that. That baseline. It is remarkably smooth. And you know, now I really don't, I really don't understand Jackknife. Because it's supposed to be Burley, Virginia, and I could pick out the Virginia in there. After trying the classic Virginia from the shop, I can pick out Virginia in Jackknife. This doesn't shine any light on the Burley side of Jackknife to me. I don't recall this taste being in Jackknife at all. Hmm. Incredibly smooth. I'm not getting a whole lot of nicotine from it. I'm honestly not getting a lot of flavor from it. I would not smoke this to look for the flavors, the twists and turns and complexities and all of that that I've been enjoying with some of these blends. It's kind of what I'm looking for is the stuff that unfolds, you know, the stuff that has a lot of layers to it. Um, I don't early on, but I'm not picking any of that up here. This is just a straight tobacco, but this might be the smoothest I've smoked yet. This is unbelievably smooth. So really, it's exactly what I've been hoping for is something that's not super sweet, something that's not super spicy and funky and weird. Let me just have a straight tobacco. That's exactly what this is. I could see keeping this in your rotation as a backup to just kind of break things up, take a break for a while. Between exploring and experimenting, you know? Oh, I would love it if it got sweeter though. If it got really just bump up the sweet level just a bit. I don't pick up much sweetness at all. I would call it very basic and straightforward, which is exactly what I was looking for. I do recognize this taste as being in some of the blends that I've been smoking, and that's nice. Now I can point this one out. I can single this out now when I taste other blends. Now there's a little bit of I'm about halfway down the bowl. I didn't pack it that high. A little bit of a nutty flavor coming out, which again I recognize from the dessert blends I've been smoking. Yeah, I mean the most impressive thing about this is how incredibly smooth it is. That's the standout feature here. I would get bored of smoking this very quickly if it was the only thing I was smoking. But just as a break from really punchy, flavorful things, just this would be perfect. So Prince Albert, huh? You're not too bad, buddy. Here. You're not too bad. My first thought is I want to take this and play around with it. I want to add stuff to it. I want to mix it up with some stuff. I want to see what I can do. You know, they say if you clean your pipes using like some kind of a spirit, like rum, whiskey, something like that, that it kind of imparts that flavor. That might be interesting to do with this. Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Nothing outrageous. Nothing kicking you in the pants. Just a good, straight, smooth old backy. I like it. I like it. It gets a thumbs up from me. Again, my first thought is I want to play with this. I want to add something funky in there. I want to try and flavor it with something. But man, is it smooth. And if you puff it lightly, you're getting nuttiness. There's a pretty strong nuttiness to it. I'm going to have to give this some time. Soak it up a little bit. Keep smoking it. See what happens. Fluff it up, air it out, and put it in a jar for a couple weeks and see what I get out of it. But I like it. It thumbs up, you know. This is a pretty good. I'm grateful that it's a straight tobacco. This is what you see is what you get. Like it's not changing through the bowl. It feels consistent. I like it. So that's Prince Albert. I don't regret having a big pile of this in a tub right now. I'm going to jar it up and save it, and I'm going to experiment with this for a while. I do hope that it gets a little sweeter, though. I hope that opens up a bit.